Now then guys, Craig here. Thank you for joining me on Barcelona, the Banter Club. Now, absolute chaos going on at Barcelona, £1 billion in debt. But we're going to start off with a saying is, don't cut your nose off to spite your face. And for me, I've got to look at it and go, is their financial troubles really my problem when I become the manager of Barcelona? Is it my problem that the president of the club or the people that run the club have ran the club into the ground? Now, you're not going to find me making any wholesale changes, any fire sales happening within this episode. It's going to be more about trying to bring the glory days back to Barcelona. First of all, let's consolidate in the first season. I still expect to win some kind of silverware or at least get to some kind of final in my first season. We've just seen Ronald Koeman sacked. And in fairness, he deserves to go. They're down in like 7th, 8th place, Barcelona. It's a shambles, let's be honest. Just like the club, what's going on off-field is also happening on-field. So today's episode is all about rebuilding Barcelona. Like I say, probably not going to have any fire sales. We may have to use some of the youth. And in fairness, they've got a very good youth setup and some very promising players coming through, so we should be okay. But before we move on, I just want to say thank you very much for clicking on the channel, first of all, watching the video. If you are new to the channel, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe. It would mean a lot. And if you're a regular viewer that's already subbed, thank you very much for your support. So, without further ado, let's get into rebuilding Barcelona. Right then guys, so here we go, day one, the 12th of July 2021. We're in charge of Barcelona. We've been given the opportunity. And first of all, I will say we're in £1 billion worth of debt, but financially, it doesn't really show it here. I'm only going to get 35% of transfer revenue and 0 transfer budget. Not bothered about that at all. Am I really bothered about the players that I sell, trying to replace them? No, any players that I sell will just be because I don't want them at the club. Wage budget's 3.5 million. We're currently spending just under that, and I would like to get that wage budget down to around about £3 million. That would help us out massively. Overall balance apparently is minus £18 million. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. I'm going to trust Football Manager's numbers here because, like I say, they're in £1 billion worth of debt, but it's not showing it there. And in fairness, I think looking at transfer budgets and the amount of money I'm allowed, that would be about right. Looking at projections though, we're going to be in a fairly decent place. By the end of the episode, we should be looking at about £267 million in the balance. I think it's all going to be about how we perform in the league and outperform in Europe, because you get the revenue off that, you get the sponsorship. The worse we play and perform in those competitions, naturally the worse my finances are going to be. Turnover wise, we're expecting to drop 546 million, but that's a reduction of 575 million, so we'll see. Expenditure is apparently going to go up from 368 million to 414 million. We could talk about finances all day, but that's not what you're here for. You're all about seeing the rebuild of the club. So, looking at the club info then, history-wise, did they need any introduction? No. Last season, however, they finished in 3rd place. And I think when you're looking at that, the wheels were already coming off. Now, I don't understand how a club as big as Barcelona, and I don't think anybody really understands, is how this has happened. Yes, they've been stupid with money. They've overpaid for some players. I would imagine we'll discover some absolutely ridiculous contracts for fringe players at the club. But still, there's other clubs out there that operate the same way and aren't anywhere near as bad as Barcelona are at the minute. But they're obviously a team filled with prestige, so there you go, looking at that. Competitions-wise this season, and obviously we're in the Spanish First Division. We've got the Champions League and the Super Cup. Is there no Spanish Cup as well? Is it the Copa del Rey? That'll be in there as well. We're obviously going to be entered into that. There's no way we've been locked out of that on the 12th of July already. But the big thing then is looking at a tactic for the club. Obviously, we're going to go with the tiki-taka. It would be ridiculous to go with anything but the tiki-taka, and we'll probably play something like this. Maybe drop a bit higher up, play with the 2 central midfielders. It breaks my heart doing that, as I really do love the 2 up top. But this may be the way to go. It's got to be a tiki-taka. You wouldn't play any other way at Barcelona. It was basically where it was invented. So we'll play with that kind of formation. Now, I'm not going to look at the squad to fit that tactic yet. We'll do that at the start of the season. But looking at the squad, let's just have a look at the squad depth and how it sets up then. So Aguero is the best player at the club. Griezmann, they've let him go on loan. Big mistake, but obviously they're trying to balance the books. With Memphis, Ansu Fati and Martin Braithwaite still there. Get out of the club, Martin Braithwaite. He's like the Barcelona equivalent of Joelinton at Newcastle. How he ended up there, unbelievable. Out on the left-hand side then, Depay is the best player on the left. On the right hand side, Ansu Fati. And behind the striker is Aguero again, apparently. We've got Coutinho who can play there as well. Pjanic's gone as well. So he's gone out on loan. He's gone to Besiktas. Valued at 75 million. He's at Besiktas. Shocking. In the centre of midfield then, we've got De Jong, Busquets, Coutinho, Sergio Roberto there as well. And then obviously you're getting down to the left-hand side of the defence. So we've got Jordi Alba. Dest is a player that I like, but he can play on the right-hand side as well with Roberto. Mingueza there and Wagyu. So apologies if I'm absolutely destroying these pronunciations of the names as well. I'm renowned for doing some damage on the pronunciation. So there you go, it's part and parcel. So my defensive centres then, my centre backs have got Piqué, De Jong, Araujo as a quality player, and Titi and Langlet, and then obviously we've got Ter Stegen in goal. So in fairness, we've got a real good core group of players. I think it's just when we look at the squad itself and we look at some of these wages. Coutinho, 375k per week. Griezmann's obviously gone off on loan, 350k. Dembele, 275k. Is there anybody like that's really overpaid for what to do? Where's my sub-goalkeeper, Neto? 100k per week for him to sit on the bench. Braithwaite, 100k per week. Christ almighty, obviously says how we've got into this position, or how they've got into this position. I'm not saying we. Christ, I've had nothing to do with the mess that is unfolding here. So what we're going to do then is we're going to look at obviously moving some of these players on. Have a look at these development centres. We've got some real good players coming through. Obviously, Nico from the B team could potentially make his way into the first team squad. And just look at developing some of the youth. I think that's the best way to go for the time being. I don't think we need any wholesale changes. I'm saying that now, and watch you'll come back and I'll have let 30 odd players go and have a completely new team. But with only 35% of that transfer revenue coming back to me, I don't think that's the way to go. So what we're going to do then is we're going to move forward to the start of Season 1, where I'll talk you through the ins and outs.
That was my next question.
Dilly dong, come on.
Right then, so the start of Season 1, and I've done absolutely nothing. What a rebuild this has turned out to be, you know. I've had the first summer transfer window and I've done absolutely nothing with it now. The main thing for me was getting these players out of the club, and I just have not been able to do it. So Umtiti's still there. And Braithwaite's still there. Braithwaite will be with me till the end of bloody time. This guy, he's had offers come in. We had a 9.5 million offer coming from him, who's valued at that, from Wolves, and he rejected the contract. So I've had my problems. I'm not going to lie. Finances wise, we've got 15 million in the overall transfer budget. We have actually gone from minus 199 million all the way to 799k. I'll take that. We've got 7 million in the overall balance. We're not overly worried about the balance as it stands. The wage budget, 3.5 million, and we're just under it. I mean, I've done nothing at all. When we have a look at the transfer history, all these players have already gone before I took over. We've had some absolutely shocking incomings as well. What is Luke de Jong doing here? What is he doing at Barcelona? Like, I just do not get Yusuf Demir. I actually had to Google to see if this guy was actually at Barcelona, and he is. Now, he's a quality player, don't get me wrong, or he's going to be a really good player, but mental. Absolutely mental. So, yeah, Memphis has joined, obviously. Sergio Aguero's there as well. But I've had an awful pre-season, a really shocking pre-season, and I know I'm starting to worry. So, when we have a look at the schedule, you know, started off with a 7-2 victory over Shakhtar, only then to lose 2-1 against Eintracht Frankfurt. I got smashed 7-3 by Borussia Dortmund, done 3-0 by Bayern, and then lost to Galatasaray 3-1. We could be in trouble before this has even started. I'm not going to lie, it's not been great. And then when we look at, obviously, the pressure that's going to be on us, the club culture, we know the drill. Play attacking football, possession football, entertaining football, develop players through the youth system, and play high-tempo football. That's fine, we can do that. But at the end of the current season, they want us to reach the first knockout round. Bare minimum in the Champions League. We should be able to get out of a group, regardless of who's in the group. First division, challenge for the title. So challenge for the La Liga title, absolutely no chance, I don't think. Not with what I've seen in the pre-season anyway. And like I say, I haven't really strengthened. I haven't found anybody that's going to improve the team. And I don't really want to spend the money on a 3-star player, so I haven't done it yet. And in the Super Cup, it's not important, which is fine. And work towards becoming the most reputable team in the world. Next season, however, win the first division. So I've got to win the La Liga next season and challenge for the Champions League. There we go. So this rebuild could be over in a season. Now, obviously, with all my rebuilds, if I haven't explained this already, I don't think I mentioned this at the start of the video. If you're new to the channel, it takes 5 years. So I have a 5-year challenge. I don't play any games. I just simulate season to season. All I get involved with is the transfers. I've done a grand job in this first season, and build a tactic to fit those players into. So then moving on to the tactics, I am going to play a 4-2-3-1 formation. We're going to play that positive tick attacker. This, what you're looking at now, is probably my best 11. I've got 3 players that are currently unavailable, but I've got ter Stegen, Dest, AORUS, Piqué and Roberto at the back, with De Jong and Busquets in the middle, Fati, Pedri and Dembele across me 3, and then Aguero up top. I've really got to do something with this because it's not looking good so far. This Neto, the guy that I was saying gets paid 100k, he's played 2 games and conceded 9 goals. He conceded 7 against Borussia Dortmund. So it's not looking good. I've got to get through this. Contracts-wise, yeah, I've got a couple of players that could potentially leave us. When we're looking at the expiries, Yusuf Demir, he's on loan, so he's going to go back. Luke de Jong, get out the club. Sergio Roberto, I've offered him a new contract. Hopefully he'll stay with us. Ansu Fati's had a new contract offered. And Dembele has rejected his contract, so he could also potentially leave us on a free transfer. When you need money, that isn't ideal. So yes, that is it then, guys. So these first bits down, blown the first initial transfer window. However, I think if we can have a relatively good season and I can keep my job by the end of it, that's a success in itself. So I'll see you on the other side of season 1. Right then, so we're back at the end of season 1, and the first thing I can see is that we've won the league. So this team obviously wasn't as bad as I was making out. I'm having an absolute nightmare before the season starts about how I couldn't bring anybody quality in, and we've went and won the league, and we've won the league by 9 points. Let's just have a look. Obviously, check that out first of all. Absolute blockbuster of a friendly coming in 25 days against Nigel Pearson's Bristol City. Can't wait for that. Jeez, well, how did they manage that? But we ended up winning the league. We tried our best to blow it here as well, looking at form. Won 1 game out of our last 5, 2 draws, 2 defeats, with 38 games played, 27 wins, 7 draws, 4 losses, 90 goals scored, 33 conceded, 57 goal difference, 88 points on the board. Now, obviously, in my haste to get this season out of the way, I didn't even have a look at the season preview, so I'd expected a 3rd place finish. We've got a couple of players in the Media Dream 11, AORUS and Pedri, but yeah, we're expected a 3rd place finish, which obviously shows that we exceeded expectations, with Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid expecting to be the 1st and 2nd position. So yeah, Real Madrid finishing in 2nd place, Atletico Madrid finished in 5th. But yeah, Real Madrid had a shocker. 9 defeats all season. So looking at the past positions then, we ended up being in top spot since match day number 3 with a 3-0 victory over Alaves. What about Real Madrid? Did they chase us? No. Jeez, Real Madrid had a shocker. Ended up finishing in 2nd place in weekday 36. Does that mean Sevilla bottled it? Yeah, Sevilla bottled it. And Atletico then, yeah, they tailed off towards the back end of the season. So not good from the rest of the team's perspective. Obviously, we've capitalised on that and we have finished in top spot. And as we've just seen, our last 5 games could have potentially, if the teams had been closer to us, caught us out. Looking at our performance in the competitions then, we won the La Liga as we've seen. We were knocked out in the first knockout round of the Champions League by Liverpool. Liverpool having our number. Not ideal, but you know, you can't win them all. You'd have witnessed a miracle if I'd also won the Champions League in the first season of the rebuild without actually bringing any players in, so it wouldn't have technically been a rebuild. But yeah, Spanish Cup, we were knocked out in the semi-final by Real Madrid. We won the Super Cup, and we're about to be in the Club World Cup Championship as well, so I will take that. Just having a quick look at the finances then, we're now minus £77 million in the overall balance. We've got nothing in the transfer budget and we'll only get 10% of any revenue made. We're 500k under the wage budget. We'll have a look at maybe reducing that. Like I say, I realistically want to be closer to 3 million, not that 4 million that they're giving us. Profit and loss, yeah, it's not looking great. Expenditure wise, this season, we spent £343 million on outgoings. Player wages coming to £131 million of that. Bonuses 56 million, loan repayments and interest 56 million. Let's get off that screen ASAP. But instead we'll have a look at the player stats. So Ansu Fati was the top goal scorer with 19 goals, which says we'll have had goals across the board. Let's just have a quick look at that. So goal scorers wise, Ansu Fati with 19, Memphis Depay with 16, AORUS, my centre back, with 12 goals, Pedri with 10 as well. So we've absolutely bossed it. Pedri is a real talent, 19-year-old. What a player. And we've got him tied down to the 2024 season. Highest average rating then was Jordi Alba. Jordi Alba's basically won everything here. What a player. Jordi Alba had the highest average rating with a 7.56. Most assists with 18. AORUS had the best pass completion with 97%. Alba had 15 player of the match awards. He also had 7 yellow cards and 3 red cards. Dirty bastard. Team stats wise then, we played 38 games, 90 goals scored, which is the best. Goals conceded 33, third best. We need to work on that, but that is less than a goal a game with 38 games being played this season. 7 yellow cards, which is the best. Jordi Alba getting 7 of them. And red cards third worst with 4. Jordi Alba getting 3 of them. So there we go. Let's just have a quick look at the dynamics of the club. We've got players that want to leave. So Garcia, Puig, Pedri and Dembele. Pedri wants to go. He wants a better deal. Usama Dembele will be going. He rejected the contract offer that I put in. He's no good anyway. They paid an astronomical amount of money, didn't they? £92 million for a player that played 4 times for us this season. Wasn't good enough to feature. So we'll save his 275k a week wage budget as well. Looking at the top influencers then, I've got 9 players as supporters. We've just won the league and I've only got 9 players that supporters. PK, Busquets and Alba, my team leaders. There's only Alba that supporters. I've got 17 players that have no real opinion. But more importantly, I've got nobody that opposes us. So looking at it tactically then, we're still going with that 4-2-3-1. That may change in the pre-season, but we've got to look at where we strengthen. Dembele is going, so I'll need a better option out there. Aguero up front. Did Aguero actually play any games? I didn't see much from him. So Aguero scored 7 times. How many games did he play? 23 games, 4 goals. Jeez, Aguero, that is poor from him. So we're probably going to continue playing this way. I'm going to need to strengthen up top, going to need to strengthen on the wide areas. But overall, we're pretty decent. My only concern with the squad would be the age of them. So my better players, as in PK 35, Aguero 33, Busquets, Alba both 33. Yeah, not great. We need to get some of these other players off the books like Braithwaite and Neto being 2 of them. So there we go then, guys. So what we've done is we've achieved what I would say would have been quite impossible looking at it from the start of the season. We've got a first place finish in La Liga. We've won it. We need to just continue rebuilding. Maybe start chipping into this debt. Even though I said that's not my problem. I think considering that I haven't had to spend a lot of money to get the results that we've got so far, maybe it's time to start looking at the finances. But yes, we're going to skip forward to the start of season 2 where we'll talk through the incoming and outgoing transfers.
That was my next question.
Come on.
Right then guys, season 2 and I'm genuinely excited about our prospects now as I've not spent any money. But we have cleared out. We've made some massive transfers. Let's have a look at those straight away. So the first player off the books then was Sergio Aguero. He has gone off to Porto. Now, we didn't do too much for us last season. Like I say, Porto, 3.2 million come in and took him. Now, he's a quality player. He's at the back end of his career. Sergio Aguero doesn't really need an introduction, does he? But I'm just want better, younger players at the club. And while the player that I've replaced him with isn't the youngest, he's certainly a lot younger than the 34-year-old Aguero. The next player out is another aging star, Coutinho, so he has gone off to Juve. We spent £142 million on him. That is crazy. I didn't actually realise he'd gone for that amount of money. But yeah, Juve took him for £59 million, and I'm happy with that. He's a decent player. He's not like a world beater though, and 30-year-old, off he goes. Then out of nowhere, Inter Milan coming for Neto. Now, this was a battle between Spurs and Inter, but Inter took him 26.5 million. He's already played the same amount of games as he played for us last season. Played 2 for Inter, conceded 3 goals. So not an ideal start for Neto, but yeah, 26.5 million for him. They can have him. And then we finally got Martin Braithwaite off the books, so he's gone off to Real Sociedad, £5 million. Another bizarre deal there. £16 million Barca paid for him when he was at Leganes for 24 games and he scored 6 goals for them. What is that? What is that there? Does that kind of form make you want to buy him? No. I'm having a rant. I'm going off on a tangent, but £5 million, away he goes. And then if I'm completely honest, I might be doing this guy a disservice, but I've never even heard of him. Alex Collado has gone off to Bayer Leverkusen, 27.5 million with an 11 million add-on. So he could potentially be selling this guy for up to 38.5 million. Never even heard of him. Had a decent season in the B team last season, 41 games, 7 goals, 16 assists, 7 player of the match performance. I did push him into the first team, where like I say, stats-wise he's decent, but I've just got better players and I thought we'll cash in on him now. So Yusuf Demir then, a player that was on loan with us last season, we've paid his release clause, which was 8.5 million. It was part of a deal as an option to buy. Played 10 games for us last season, 6.84 rating, 1 goal and 1 assist. But this guy's only going to get better, isn't he? I hope. I'm praying. But yeah, 19-year-old and 1 cap with Austria already. Then we bought in Andrea Bellotti for a total of 3 transfers. There you go, 0. He's got 12 goals last season for Torino, 13 the season before. He's a quality player. Another guy that's a bit of an unsung hero in fairness, and his stats are incredible. Physically and mentally he's really good. Technically he's not too bad. Don't ask him to take a long throw at 4 or take a corner. Not great on the old set pieces. But apart from that, 28-year-old, 41 caps for Italy, 13 goals. I can see this guy getting 15 goals this season. We'll have a look at the end of the season, but we'll go for 15. And then lastly, here he is, Kylian Mbappe is in. 171 million apparently is valued at, and we got him on a free transfer. 16 goals last season for PSG. Now, have I bankrupted the club bringing this guy in? No, 300k. But Dembele was on less money anyway. So like I say, that 300k is nothing. As Dembele goes, Kylian Mbappe comes in. And this guy, again, another player that doesn't need any introduction. And I said I would only bring players in that improve the squad. Kylian Mbappe certainly improves the squad. So looking at the finances then, we've got £30 million in the transfer budget. Obviously 10% of revenues being made. So all that money that we've made from sales, only 10% of it has gone into that transfer budget. We're just about spending under the wage budget. I couldn't reduce it as much as I wanted. But we've got 285 million in the overall balance now as it stands. And when we look at the tactics, probably my best 11 here is we're going to continue to play that 4-2-3-1 with Ter Stegen in goal, Alba, Piqué, Araujo and Dest. Now Araujo wants to leave. As it stands, he won't accept a new contract and he could leave on a free transfer at the end of this season. So I'm going to battle hard between now and December to try and keep this guy with us, but he may leave. We've then got Dest out on the right-hand side with De Jong and Busquets in the middle. Mbappe, Pedri and Fati as me three behind, Belotti up front. What a team that is. I am excited about it. Competitions-wise, we've got the La Liga, Champions League, Super Cup, and the Copa del Rey. Where is the Copa del Rey? We didn't talk about that last season either. Let's just have a quick look. How did we get on in that? Genuinely can't remember. Oh yeah, there we go. We were knocked out in the semi-final. So we are actually in the Spanish Cup. Why it's not shown on those competitions is beyond me. But we are looking good. When we look at the dynamics of the squad, I've still got players who are unhappy. I'm trying to get this player off the book, Chronic. 32-year-old, and while he's a quality player, he's a world-class player, and he was out on loan at Besiktas last season. I just want to free up the place for a younger player to come through. I really do. You know, we've got some talent in the midfield, and I think he's taken one of those valuable spots. He's currently included in the team selection for the majority of the season. You know, he's registered as a player to play there, but Anthony Griezmann is back. Wants a deal to reflect his ability. Wants 600k a week. Not happening. And Ricky Puig, I've probably pronounced his surname wrong. Puig, if that's right. I'm trying to get him off the books. Not that he's done anything wrong, but he wants to go somewhere else to help develop him further. But I don't want a loan. I want a permanent deal. So yeah, so when we're looking at the influencers then, anybody opposes Griezmann? Of course he does, because he wants double his wages. What is he earning a minute? 300k? 625k, he's on that already. Christ. I didn't actually realise that was the case. That's what he wants as well. I'm not, what? Griezmann. I've been caught out there. So yeah, Griezmann, he's not happy because I wouldn't give him an extra 25k to give him on 650k. It's just not happening. 11 player supporters, 13 players have no real opinion of us. I am happy with that. And when we look at, let's just have a look at the season preview. We're expected a third place finish again, 6-1. We've got Araujo and Mbappe now in the media dream 11, but nobody else sneaks in. Unfortunately, I'm quite surprised Ter Stegen doesn't take Courtois' place in goal. So yeah, overall very good. Development centre, we've still got some real talent coming through. Gavi and Akamak, I'm going to say his name is, are two really good players. We've also got Mingos, there he is, Mingo. Santi Ramos Mingo is a decent player as well. Somebody develops nicely. We need to try and get some of these players in and around the first team. But like I say, unfortunately, I've got some of these older players that we need to be looking at moving on. Piqué, Busquets, Alba, Panic, Griezmann as well. We'll have a season out of these guys. Piqué has got another 2 seasons with it. Busquets leaves at the end of this season. I'm not going to renew his contract. He's going to be going. Jordi Alba had a cracking season last season, so I'm not going to do anything with him neither. We'll leave him. He basically won every award that he could possibly win last season. Griezmann, I can't believe that's 625k. I genuinely thought he was on 300k. I don't know where that's come from, but we might have to look at that come the end of the season. So yes, these youngsters though, Demir, Balde, Pedri, Ansu Fati, Nico. Again, a player that's probably not going to see any game time this season because of the players that he's got around. In 14 games last season for us though. But anyway, I'm just rambling away. What we're going to do is we're going to move forward this season. Hopefully, we retain La Liga. We win some more domestic trophies. And then we really push on in the Champions League. So season 2's over then, guys, and the first thing we can see is that we have won the league again. Top of the league, 101 points on the board, 33 wins, 2 draws, 3 losses, 117 goals, 22 conceded. That is incredible. So I think it's fair to say that La Liga is a walk in the park as far as Barcelona are concerned, plus 95 goal difference with Real Madrid finishing second, Valencia third, Villarreal fourth. We're Atletico down in 6th place. Looking at the past positions then, Were we sat in top? No, we were sat in top less than we were last season. But this time around, we took top spot with a 3-0 victory over Atletico Bilbao on the match day 16. And we were top ever since. What about Real Madrid? And they dropped down and they just could not catch us since. Valencia doing bits as well, getting themselves up into third spot. But I am interested in Atletico Madrid. They had the shocker this season. Looking at the competitions wise then, like I say, we topped the league. We're comfortably clear of Real Madrid. We were knocked out by bloody Liverpool again in the Champions League. So Liverpool have got Manchester United in the final. Let's just have a look at that semi-final. So we actually went out 2-1 on aggregate. United knocking out Bayern there. So not great, but we did win the Super Cup. We didn't win the Spanish Cup though, as we lost that in the quarter-final by getting knocked out by Atletico Bilbao. Shocking stuff. Absolutely shocking stuff. But there we go. It doesn't matter. We won the league. It's just that Champions League. We got a couple of steps further this season and it's all about winning it. Let's have a look at the finances. So financially, we've got £160 million in the transfer budget. I'm not worried about that. We've got 148 million in overall balance. And we've apparently got 4.5 million wage budget. We're spending 3.9. But I don't want to do too much with that. We'll look at the dynamics of the squad. I've got players that are concerned and want to leave. Ansu Fati's probably my only player there that I'd be worried about. Apparently, Belotti wants more playing time. How did he get on? He's got 2 goals. 2 goals. So there we go. What did I say he was going to get? 15 goals this season. He played 6 times, scored 2 goals. He has been underused, to say the least. You know, I'd have expected us to play this kind of way. We've obviously went with Mbappe, I would imagine, up top. How did Mbappe get on? So he scored 49 goals in 42 games. Yeah, Mbappe was definitely leading the line. So back to the dynamics. Looking at top influencers, anybody opposes? No. Everybody's not hating on me anyway. So we've got 17 players to support us, 8 players that have no real opinion of us. But I am happy with that. And then looking at the player stats, Mbappe got 49 goals this season, top goals, got a high average rating, Mbappe as well, 7.97. Most assists, Depay and Alba, both on 14 apiece. Best pass completion, Garcia on a 97%. Most player of the match awards, Mbappe with 17 player of the match awards this season. That's incredible stuff from Mbappe. Team stats wise then, 38 games played, 117 goals, which is the best. 22 goals conceded, which was the best. So we've topped both of those. Yellow cards, second best with 21, and 1 red card had a 7th best. I will take that. And average attendance, 91,000. That is also the best. I would like to know what was going on in the league. So having a look at the player overview then. Mbappe was the top goal scorer in the league with 39 goals. Benzema second with 19. Wow. Assists-wise then, Albert top up there with 14. Jose Gallo with 14 as well. Januzaj and Mbappe with 11. Fewest conceded, Ter Stegen. Courtois conceded 23. But overall, and even when you look at clean sheets, like I say, 24 clean sheets for Ter Stegen. Courtois with 20. So we have absolutely tore it up. Looking at the squad depth then, it may be time to just tinker with the formation a little bit, but I like the setup. Obviously, it's winning as a league and we are dominating. We just need to get on side with Europe. So Mbappe is comfortably the best player in all those 4 positions. Yeah, Depay can play behind there, but Pedri, he's going to be developing nicely. So Pedri will stay there. In the midfield, we've got De Jong, Pedri, Busquets. They're all disappearing anyway by De Jong. So midfield is probably an area that I'm going to have to look at strengthening or bringing people through out of those youth systems. At the back, Jordi Alba. He's got 1 more season left in him at left back. And out on the right-hand side, we've got Roberto and Dest. Centre defence then, Araujo, he's absolutely sold me out. He wants to leave. He's looking at his options at the end. You know, got United, Bayern, AC, Atalanta, Juve and Liverpool all want him. Let's just try and offer him a new contract. One absolute Judas. He's selling me out. He's got no interest. So yeah, my best centre-back is leaving the club. Flanky de Jong is there as well, but he's going to be playing further forward. We've got PK and Langlet. We've got some work to do with centre-backs as well. Goalkeeper-wise, obviously Ter Stegen and Tennis, a player that I promoted from the reserves. Hopefully he didn't play again for us this season. No, he didn't. But yeah, so there you go then, guys. Obviously, we'll look at strengthening a little bit. I'm definitely not spending that 160 odd million outright. Some players will go. Some players will come in. So join me for season 3 where we talk through the ins and outs again.
That was my next question.
Dilly dong, come on.
Season 3 then is about to begin and we've actually done some transfer business this time around. We've spent some money. Let's have a look at those ins and outs of the transfers. So Sergio Roberto, after spending all of his career with us, has now gone off to Villarreal. 9.75 up front, 13.5 million with add-ons. Played 18 games for us last season, 3 goals, 3 assists, 7.12 rated. 31-year-old now. He's only got 10 caps for Spain as well. And he's versatile, don't get me wrong. He's currently valued at £46 million. I don't think that's the case at the grand old age of 31. Another player to leave in is Francisco Trincao. Decent player, didn't really feature too much for us. 23-year-old, 7 caps for Portugal. But he went out on loan to Wolves, obviously the season that I took over. Didn't play a game for us last season. And we got 24 million for him when he went to Borussia Dortmund, where he's played 1 game and scored 2 goals. He scored 2 goals, however. He's only got a 6.8 rating. Did he get sent off or something? That's mental. That is absolutely mental. 1 star, 2 goals and a 6.8. Jeez. And then Andrea Bellotti, yeah, this guy, I've let him down, ruined him, God love him. He come to us on a free transfer from Torino. I think I said that he was going to score 15 goals, and yeah, he played 6 games, scored 2. Not bad, you know. 1 in every 3 games, I'll take that, but Napoli, £25 million offer coming in. Considering we got him for free the season before, 25 million isn't a bad deal. So with Arujo leaving us on a free transfer, like I said, the absolute snake disappeared. But we've brought in Ibanez, 24-year-old Brazilian with 1 cap. Quality player, heading, mark and tackling, all good stats. Could work on the strength a little bit, but mentally, physically very good. We spent big money, £45 million on him after Roma bought him for $8 million. Played 34 games for him last season, 4 assists, 2 player of the match awards. £45 million will definitely strengthen our defence. And then trying to strengthen out on those wide areas. So looking at that right back position, we've brought in Valentino Lazaro. Quality all-round player. His attributes don't really do him any justice. 27-year-old Austrian, 50 caps, 4 goals, £25 million we spent. And we obviously missed the trick in 22-23 when Porto spent £3.8 million on him. But I think he's a very good player. He's never let me down in the past. In other saves that I've played, Lazaro is a decent fullback. So yeah, it was worth the money, hopefully. Anyway, it was worth the money for Barca. Another player in there was the Italian Leonardo Spinazzola. Obviously had a quality Euros. 26 million Roma paid for him and we paid 20 million. He only played 10 games last season. 7.19 rating. Can play out on our left-hand side. So I've now strengthened with Lazaro on the right, Spinazzola on the left. And then in the midfield, we've brought in Gaetano Castrovilli. So 26-year-old Italian, 3 caps, technically, mentally, physically good. Realistically, he's just going to sit in the midfield. He's not going to play any higher than that. 11.75 million we paid for him. Played 34 games last season for Fiorentina. 4 goals, 5 assists, 1 player of the match performance. And then lastly, the return of Lionel Messi. We give him the number 6. Look at the state of him. 36-year-old. We know what Messi's about. 6.5 million I paid for him after he left on a free transfer. I've brought him back because he wants to retire at Barcelona. Let him retire at Barcelona. I'm sure I'll get a lot of grief about this. You know, we're struggling for money and I'm spending £10 million on Lionel Messi. But he is quality. And when we look at it tactically, how we're going to set up, we're going to play a 5-2-1-2. And Messi and Mbappe up front. That is scary with Pedri behind, De Jong and Nico, Alba Dest. Obviously, I've got these other players that can fit in as well. Lenglet, Ibanez, Garcia and Ter Stegen in goal. Quality. Finances-wise, we've got £112 million to play with. I'm not spending another penny of that. Wage budget 4.2 million. We're spending 4 million. Whatever I seem to do, I cannot reduce that wage budget. However, Messi's only getting paid 300k a week, so that's not too bad considering originally he was on like £1 million a week. And in the overall balance, we've got 357 million. Dynamics-wise then, team cohesion is good, club atmosphere is very good and managerial support is very good. Pjanic, he's on his way. He should be going to Valencia. He's concerned about the deal, but I'm hoping, fingers crossed, hand on heart, all that stuff, that he will be leaving us before the summer's out. I've got 20 players to support us, 5 players that have no real opinion of us. But Messi comes straight into the highly influential players. And now looking at that squad depth, we've got Mbappe, Messi, Depay as my top 3 strikers. Obviously, we've got Griezmann in there as well. Griezmann, what a stupid amount of money we're paying him. With Messi, who can play behind the strikers, Depay, Pedri there as well. Midfield, we've got De Jong, Messi, Pedri, Busquets, Panic. Apparently, Castrovilli isn't even good enough to be there. He should be. Castrovilli will be a player that we see feature. On that left position, we've got Spinazzola, Dest, Alban. On the right position, we've got Dest, Lazaro, Spinazzola. And then a couple of fringe players. Centre-backs wise, we've got De Jong, Lenglet, Ibanez, Garcia. PK still there as well. And in goal, obviously, we've got Ter Stegen. So that team is stacked. Competitions wise, again, we've obviously got the Champions League, the Super Cup, the Spanish Cup, the La Liga. And looking at the season preview and expectation. First place finish, there you go. 6-4 to win the league. And the Media Dream 11 is now stacked with our players. De Jong, Pedri, Messi, Fati and Mbappe, all players in there. So I think we're set up now to push forward into the end of season 3. Hopefully, come on, surely we've got to be getting it to a bare minimum of a Champions League final. Right then guys, we're back at the end of season 3 and we've won the league again. This La Liga business, easy peasy. We finished 5 points clear of Real Madrid, who lost 1 in their last 5 games. We drew 1 in our last 5. 38 games played, 30 wins, 5 draws, 3 losses, 87 goals for, 23 goals conceded, 64 goal difference. Obviously not as dominant as the season before, as we finished on 95 points, 101 points last time, 95 goal difference. So, yeah, not the same, but we're still top of the league. That's all that matters. With Real Madrid, Sevilla and Villarreal making the top 4. Atletico Madrid in 6th place. You know, they're well and truly off the ball now. When we look at the past positions for ourselves, we were in the top 2 all the way through. I'm assuming Barca were there. Yeah, Barca got top from match day 20 and then basically lost it on match day 32. And they lost to Atletico Madrid 4-2 for us to go into top spot. Competitions-wise then, we won the league. We've won the Champions League there. We go with a 2-0 victory over Manchester United. That's what we're talking about. Depay with a goal on 70 minutes. Spinazzola on 85. Hannibal sent off on 78. We'll take that regardless. Spanish Cup-wise, we won that. That's the expectation. But we lost in the Super Cup, so we didn't have a clean sweep of titles this time round. But what's that done to the finances? We've got £190 million to spend. We've got 100% of the transfer revenue as well. Obviously, financially, we're in a much more stable environment now. We've got 4.5 million wage budget. We're under that. 3.9 million being spent. Overall balance, £217 million in the bank. I think now after winning the Champions League, obviously I want to win it again the next couple of years. We've won every domestic competition now across the course of these 3 seasons. I think we need to now get that financial situation sorted out. Now, I did say probably about 30 minutes ago at the start of this video that I forget the finances, not my problem. But with the dominance that we've had, I genuinely expected this to be hard work. I thought, even with the squad they've got, we may have struggled to keep the players. Yes, we've had a couple of players, you know, Rougeau even was not ideal to say the least with the way that we've been. But apart from that, I don't think we've had any real catastrophes. So I think we'll work on now, you know, we may sell some of our bigger players on to sort out this transfer budget and this overall balance. Because I would like to see this plus 500 in the next couple of seasons. So, looking at the squad dynamics, and they've got to be happy after a fantastic season. So, team cohesion is very good, club atmosphere is good, manager support's good. We've got a lot of players that want to leave. Frankie de Jong wants to leave. He's not going anywhere. We'll have to sort out some contracts. When we look at the hierarchy, then I've got 3 team leaders, Busquets, Piqué and Messi. Castrovilla poses as he wants out. I'm assuming he did nothing this season. Let's have a look. He started 3 games overall, 6 substitute appearances. Any goals for this guy? No. So 7 starts combined. 15.75 million, valued at 25 million or 21 to 25. So we might be able to pull a bit of money back in there for that. So looking at the play stats overall, and Mbappe was the top goal scorer with 45 goals. We just need to check this guy out, because he's been scoring 33 goals in 36 games, 39 in 30 last season. He's been good for us. He also had the highest average rating with a 7.53. Ansu Fati had the most assists with 16. Best pass completion, Ibanez with 98%. Most player of the match awards, Mbappe again with 14. We had no red cards though this season. That's not bad at all. Team stats wise, then we scored 87 goals, which is the second best. 23 goals conceded was the best. 20 yellow cards, no red cards. Very happy. How did Messi get on? I think that's what everybody wants to know. I don't know. How did Messi do? So looking at Leo Messi there, he's what an incredible player. Career stats wise then, 10 goals in 35 starts. 50 games played in all competitions, 15 goals. I'll take that. 11 assists, 10 player of the match performances, 7.54. At the grand old age of, what is he now, 36, he's still got it. I think finally then, looking at squad depth, obviously Mbappe, Ansu Fati and Messi, top 3, debating there as well. Griezmann will probably look at moving on. We've got Pedri, Messi and De Jong who can play behind a striker. De Jong can basically play anywhere, can't he? What an incredible player, 27-year-old. In the midfield, De Jong, Pedri, Messi, Nico, Castrovilla. Out on that left-hand side, we've got Dest, Balde, Spinazzola. Alba's going to be going. Wing-back right, we've got Dest, Lazara, Spinazzola. Central defenders, De Jong, Ibanez, Langlet, Garcia, Piqué, all those players. You know, Piqué getting on now. And Ter Stegen still in goal. Now, this is the one thing. This is where the proper rebuild will actually start. So, squad-wise, contract expiry, Busquets, Piqué, Alba, all going this season. So, basically, the mainstays of the team, those 3 there, on their way out the club. You know, we've got to replace them. We've already done a bit towards replacing them anyway. Busquets in the centre of midfield, definitely a step up there. But, you know, the 2-star players now anyway. We've got another 2-star player. Fahid Mufi, you know, he's come through. So yes, there we go then, guys. We're going to move forward to the start of Season 4. 2 more seasons to go. Want to go back-to-back in the Champions League. But I also want to start securing our future by reducing this debt.
That was my next question.
Dilly dong, come on.
Start Season 4 then, guys. And it's, yeah, it's gone alright. We'll just start off straight away with the transfer budget. So we've got £102 million in the bank. 3.8 million in the wage budget, so we are starting to reduce that wage budget. We're currently spending 3.6 million, but overall balance continues to rise with 334 million now to play with. We're just going to You know, we're always going to be zero, but we've managed to pump 334 million into the club, so I'll take that. So leaving the club then, we got Anthony Griezmann. He has gone off to Manchester United. Now he's gone for 23.5 million, and if I'm completely honest, I'm happy with that deal. As we've had on, he can go up to 32 million, but yes, he played 20 games for his last season, but we were paying a hell of a lot of money on wages, and to get that off the book, the thing is for me, they spent that kind of money, they're paying him 200k a week, and he's an impact sub. So, you know, you've got to ask some questions there. But he's doing all right in the European Championship. 6 starts, 5 goals, 6 assists. You can't grumble with that. But yeah, Griezmann has gone off to United. And that was it for me outgoing. So just the one player leaving as Luca Netz has joined us, 21-year-old German who plays out on that left-hand side. We got him for 15 million from Borussia Mönchengladbach. He played 32 games in the Bundesliga last season, 2 goals, 2 assists. And he's there to add a bit of a depth option as Spinazzola is still the main man out on our left-hand side. We then brought in Renato Sanchez to play in the midfield, quality player, currently valued at £47 million, 26-year-old Portuguese international. £39 million we paid for him when Man City paid 38.5. Played 17 games for City last season, a 6.77 rating. But again, he's going to add a decent strength option. We're going to play 3 in the midfield this season as I continue to change the tactic. Maybe I shouldn't have tinkered with the tactic after we won basically everything last season. But with the players bringing in, I just want to add a bit more strength in midfield. We then brought in Benoit Badiashile. He's joined us to play as a centre-back, 23-year-old Frenchman. Currently valued 57 million. We spent 42 million pound on him from Monaco. Played 19 times last season, a 7.11 rating. But is he going to get even better? Yes. Heading, marking, tackling all 15, strength 16, pace and acceleration both 15 as well. Decent player. Someone's tried to stick him out on that left-hand side. That's definitely not happening, but we're going to bring him in centre-back option. We've also brought in Andrea Carboni to play as a centre-back. Now, this guy is just going to be a squad player, 23-year-old. We have spent a bit of money on him, £23 million, after having to spend 15.75. 5 starts last season, 1 assist. But this guy, for me, again, is only going to get better. Heading, marking, tackling, 16, 15 and 15. Strength 15, acceleration and pace, both decent. 23-year-old. I'd expect by the end of this episode for him to at least have 1 cap with Italy. And the last player in is Leo Ostergaard. Now, look at this guy's stats, he's absolutely incredible. 24-year-old Norwegian, capped 18 times, £34 million we spent on him from Brighton. Played 27 goals last season, a 6.82 rating. But what a player. What a player. Now, I'm not saying this guy's going to replace PK, but he's about the best player that we've brought in. Him and Badiashile, real quality at the back. I could have went out and spent 80 million, 90 million on a world-class player, but I spread that money across 3 players, and yeah, bringing him in, Leo Ostergaard is probably not a player that you'd say, oh, let's get him to Barcelona, but stats-wise there, decent player. So dynamics-wise, team cohesion is very good, club atmosphere is very good, managerial support's very good. Issues-wise, Depay, Demir and Spinazzola, you know, aren't happy. Spinazzola wants 600k per week. He's on 65k a week, and he's stuck an extra 0 on there. It's absolutely crazy. But looking at the top influencers-wise then, Messi, Ter Stegen and Mbappe, my 3 team leaders. What a group of team leaders that is. 16 player supporters, 7 players have no real opinion of us. Tactically though, we're going to play it this way now, so we're going to play the 3 midfield. So it's basically a 5-3-2. I'm happy with how that's set up. And then tactically, we're going to play a 5-3-2 with the 3 in midfield. So we're looking at Ter Stegen in goal, Badiashile, Carboni, Ibanez there as well, with Spinazzola, Dest out wide, Sanchez, Pedri and Nico, with Mbappe and Fati up front. Now, obviously, we've got other players. Messi is currently injured. We've got De Jong who can play in the midfield. I'd probably be going Ostergaard instead of Carboni in the middle. But the rest of that is quality. You know, we've got Castrovilli there as well. Should we want to play him as that ball winner midfielder on the right-hand side? So we've got a real quality squad. Dest, Spinazzola, like I say. We've also got Lazaro who can go out there. We've got Netz who can go out on the other side. So we've got plenty of versatility. We've always had anyway. We've always had decent depth. But we've got it. I feel more confident this season with the depth that we've got. Should we be getting to the finals of all the competitions again? Finally then, looking at the season preview, we are evens to win, so yeah, nobody anywhere near us. With Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid expecting to finish 2nd and 3rd. As far as the Media Dream 11 goes, we've got Pedri, Fati and Mbappe, and Messi doesn't make it in. Heartbreaking for Messi, but then again, he's about 70. So yeah, I'm happy with that team selection in fairness. Yes, there's plenty of Real Madrid players in there, but overall, happy to have 3 players involved. So finally then, having a look at the competitions, we're in the Champions League, we're in the European Super Cup, which is coming up against Arsenal, the Spanish Super Cup, La Liga and the Copa del Rey, obviously. So we've got lots of competitions to be getting more silverware for. Like I say, this season, let's retain that Champions League crown, let's win the La Liga again, obviously. and let's just build a bit more on the finances. So just to remind ourselves, we've got £334 million in the overall balance. Let's push our way to 500 million. Season 4 out the way then, guys, and you'll never guess what we've done. We've won the league again, can you believe it? What a surprise. 4 times on the bounce now, all 4 seasons. 93 points on the board. 12 points clear of Villarreal. Real Madrid have had an absolute shocker in 4th place on 77 points. But yeah, 93 points for ourselves. As we won 29, drew 6, lost 3, 98 goals for, 19 goals against, 79 goal difference. Bossed it. Let's have a look at those past positions. So top spot since game day 1. Wowza. We had a 4-0 victory over Zaragoza and went top of the league. What about Real Madrid then, who've had an absolute shocker? They got themselves out of trouble. They were in 8th place up until match day 28 when they won 2-0 against Real Betis. Then a 3-0 victory against Real Sociedad. Then against Espanyol, and then they sat up into 4th place all the way through. So Villarreal then have had a decent season. Yeah, sat in 2nd place since match day 11. So Villarreal now the team that are chasing us. Looking at the rest of the competitions though, we're runner-up in the Champions League. Oh, we bottled it. We bottled it on penalties as well. Against Liverpool. Oh dear, so who missed the penalty? Ostergaard. Leo Ostergaard, and I've been talking him up as well. Misses the decisive penalty in the Champions League final. Who was the goal scorer for us? Depay in 95 minutes before Diaz on 111. Oh, there we go then, guys. So we've lost in the Champions League final to Liverpool. Unbelievable. We did win the Super Cup though. Who did we win the Super Cup against? I think that was Arsenal. 3-2 in extra time there. Won the Spanish Cup and we've won the Super Cup. So basically, if we had won the Champions League, we would have had a clean sweep of trophies for the season. We've got the World Club Championship coming up as well. But yeah, winning the league again. It's unfortunate that we've lost out in the Champions League. We've got one more season to go with that. But looking at the finances, we've got 248 million in the overall balance. Obviously, at the start of the season, we're still trying to push that up to 500 million. Transfer budget-wise, we've got 215 million pounds to spend. Wowzers. Wage budget's 4 million. We've got 3.7 million being spent on that. Let's just have a look then at the projections. So they're expecting us by the end of the season to have a balance of 208 million. We'll need to do better than that. As I'd like to say, we're pushing for the 500 million mark. Looking at squad dynamics then, after the end of the season, team cohesion, atmosphere and Maggio support is all very good. Eric Garcia wants to leave. Frankie de Jong wants a new contract again. Lenglet, we'll probably see him leave at the end of the season. Valentino Lazaro, how many games did he play? 20 games. So we'll look at improving his contract. And Spinazzola, let's just have a quick look. Off a new contract. Fringe player. 105k, maybe. We'll talk about that later. So, looking at the top influencers then, anybody not supporters, 4 players have no real opinion of us, 0 players have nobody opposes though, and that's the big thing, and 19 players fully supporters. So, looking at the player stats overall then, Mbappe got 32 goals this season. He also had the highest average rating of 7.7 and the most assists. Keeps on assisting himself as well with 18 assists. Best pass completion, Ibanez with 97%. Most player of the match awards, Mbappe with 11. Most yellow cards, Dest with 6. And Castrovilli with 1 red card. Team stats wise, and this is just for the league, 98 goal scores, which is the best. Goals conceded, 19, which is the best. 18 yellow cards, which is the best, and 1 red card, which is the 7th best. We've had a decent season. Again, it's just that Champions League defeat. So final season then. Yeah, we've got some big things. Anybody thinking about leaving us? I think there's just Messi who just does not want to be. So we've got Lionel Messi, offer a new contract. He doesn't believe Barcelona's squad is strong enough to play at the level matching his own ambitions. What are you talking about? We've just won 4 trophies this season. But Messi is going to leave us again at the grand old age of 37. So what we're going to do then, guys, we're going to move forward again to the final season, season number 5, where we're going to try and have a clean sweep of trophies. We definitely need to win that Champions League again.
That was my next question.
Dilly dong, come on.
Right, so this is it then, guys. The last season, my final season in charge of Barcelona. In fairness, this one's been a walk in the park. Don't know what Ronald Koeman's been playing at. He's had an absolute shocker getting sacked there, as we have rebuilt this squad incredibly. In my opinion, anyway, like that first season, obviously I was panicking when I didn't bring anybody in. But since then, you know, Mbappe coming in has changed things dramatically. Now, I have got one little bit to talk about before transfers. And that is that we won 4-0 against Chelsea in the Club World Cup final. What a time to be alive, eh? As Ansu Fati with 3 penalties. We had 2 goals disallowed as well. Badashahil and Mbappe with goals disallowed. And Carboni with a goal on 3 minutes. 19 shots, 12 on target. 45% possession. But yeah, hat-trick for Fati. A hat-trick of penalties. And then getting into these transfers then, Clement Lenglet has left. What a name that is, Clement Lenglet, there's a mouthful. Has left to Everton, £16 million he went for. He didn't play a game for us last season, 34 games a season before. He's not even shown us playing for us last season, that's how poor it is. But yeah, he's gone to Everton, £16 million. Memphis Depay, 31-year-old now. Now, for me, he had a fantastic season last season. One of his best at the club. He's best at the club, in fact. 18 goals in 34 starts. £43 million, though. We got him on a free transfer. And you can't turn that kind of money down. Yes, he's great. Yes, he's in his prime. But he's naturally on the decline after this point. So getting that kind of money for him, especially when we're trying to build up that balance, is fantastic. Spinazzola went away. When I was having a look at his contract renewal, he only played 2 times for us last season. Yes, we paid £20 million for him, and we sold him for 10.75. When you look, like I say, that second season, he did not play 2 games. That is it. And to offer him basically 100k to sit on the bench just was not going to happen. So Shakhtar coming with a 10.75 million deal for him, and we've let him go for that. And then another player that left was Alejandro Balde. Now, a guy that hasn't really been with us, played 28 games last season, but before that didn't do too much. And Man United coming with a £43 million offer, and I'll let him go. Now, he was a decent player, but he's not a player that I've really spoken about. Yes, he's a 22-year-old Spaniard, and why have I let one of my promising youngsters go? But for that kind of money, like I said before the break, it was all about building up that bank balance and getting that kind of money for him. We just had to accept it. And the last player to go then was Eric Garcia. Has gone off to Sheffield United for his sins. Now, he's £24 million up front, with 5 million add-ons, so he could potentially head up to 29 million. Only played 4 times for his last season. That is it. Another Spaniard, young one, 24-year-old, capped 11 times. He's not that good defensively. Heading, mark and tackling, all below 15, strength 13. So Eric Garcia has left the club as well. So the first player in then, as I've just said, I've let Depay go because he was old. I've brought Bernardo Silva, 31-year-old. Now, he's on a free transfer, so that's why I've brought him in. Didn't cost us a penny, and apparently he's valued at 97 million. I'm not going to get that, obviously. I'm not even going to attempt to sell him, but he's somebody that can pull the strings in the midfield. Technically, mentally, physically incredible. Look at the state of the guy. What a player. And an even better player joining us, Matthias de Ligt. Now, he is had some kind of fallout at Juve. £83 million he was transfer listed for. Played 24 games last season, but this is a proper centre-back. Heading, mark and tackling, all above 15. Strength 18. Those mentals are absolutely incredible, and he's only 26-year-old. And worst case scenario, has a bad season, you're just going to recoup the money afterwards anyway. And then what has all that done to the finances then? So we've got over that 500 million mark, as we're now 558 million in the black. That's where we want to be. Transfer budget wise, £292 million left to spend. I'm not going to even touch that. And wage budget 3.7 million. So I'm really happy with the squad. We are lacking a bit of squad depth, but we've got over that £500 million mark. Looking at the squad dynamics, team cohesion is good, club atmosphere is average, emergency support's very good. I've got players that want better deals, not my problem. I'm leaving at the end of the season, so sort that out yourself. And as you can see, we haven't got too many players now in that first team. Team leaders, Ter Stegen, Pedri and Mbappe, like I say, he's not got a real opinion of us at the minute, just solely because he wants a new contract. But I've got 11 players supporters, 8 players that have no real opinion. And tactically, I would expect us to line up like this, with Ter Stegen in goal, Ibanez, Ostergaard and De Ligt at the back, with Dest and Lazaro out wide, De Jong, Pedri and Silva in the middle. What a midfield that is, with Mbappe and Fate up front. How can we not be winning the league with this? Absolutely incredible. Let's get these players registered. You can watch me do that on screen so we don't have any heartache later on. And let's have a look at where they expect us to finish. So looking at this, then we're 5-6 to win the league, with Real Madrid 3-1 odds to win. But we've got some players now in this Media Dream 11. So De Jong and De Ligt at the back, with Pedri in the midfield, Fati and Mbappe up front. And then finally looking at the squad depth, we're a bit light out on the left and right hand side, but everywhere else 5 stars, 4.5 stars, 4 stars. Yes, up front, if something goes wrong, Mbappe and Ansu Fati get injured, then I may have a problem. But Ostergaard can apparently play up front. Love that. Get Lou Ostergaard up front should it all start going wrong. So there we go then, guys. What we're going to do now is we're going to move into the final season, and I'll join you at the end of it, where hopefully we've won that Champions League crown again. Right, so that's it then, guys. It's over. Season 5 is finished, and we've won the league by a point. Real Madrid actually fought us to the bitter end. They drew the last game of the season. They drew against Sevilla, and that has given us the league. Wowzers. So it was that close. It's come down to the final game. 38 games played, 31 wins, 4 draws, 3 losses, 122 goals scored, 26 conceded, a goal difference of plus 96. When we're looking at those past positions, it has literally come down to the last day. And we had a shocking start to the season by the look of it. all the way up until match day 12 where we won 7-1 against Sevilla. What a result that is. And on the last game of the season, we won 6-0 against Leganes, and Real Madrid drew 1-1, like I say, with Sevilla. Sevilla finishing in 4th place, and then Atletico Madrid basically cruising around in 3rd for the majority of the season. So there we go then, guys. Looking at the competitions then, we've won the Champions League. We've done it twice in 5 seasons. So there we go. With a 2-1 victory over Arsenal, 14 shots, 5 on target. They had 12 and 3. Bearing in mind, we've only had 2 strikers all season, Mbappe and Ansu Fati. Fati with a penalty. How many penalties does this guy get? 15 penalties this season. Wow, he's got 11 of 15, so he's missed 4 of them as well. Jeez, penalties all over the place. And Dest with a goal on 28 minutes. So a 2-1 victory against Arsenal in the final. We've won 2 Champions Leagues since we took over. We won a Spanish Cup and we were the runner-up in the Super Cup. But that league there, let's just have a quick look at the league and then obviously at the player performance. So Mbappe was the top goal scorer with 28 goals. Abel Ruiz for Real Madrid got 26. Ansu Fati then with 23. Bernardo Silva with the highest assists, 19. Not bad for the free transfer. With Mbappe 13 in 3rd place. Most clean sheets, we got 2 players. Alvaro Fernandez with 21 from Villarreal and Ter Stegen for us. And fewest conceded was Courtois with 21. Looking at those player stats overall then, so Mbappe with 43 goals, also had the highest average rating with a 7.79. Most assists for Bernardo Silva with 26. Ibanez with the highest pass completion of 96%. Most player of the match awards was Mbappe and Bernardo Silva with 13 apiece. Most yellow cards was Carboni and Dest. Carboni, did he get a cap? He got 10 caps and 2 goals. No international caps he had when we took him over, and I said he would get those caps. 10 caps, good lad. And then Dest got 1 yellow card. The team stats wise then, goal scored was 122, which I think is the highest of this episode for this season, I think. Goals conceded was 26, was the second best. Yellow cards 21. 21 yellow cards all season, that is good going. And 1 red card, which was 3rd best. Looking at the squad dynamics then, there's obviously plenty of players unhappy with the contracts. Team dynamics, team cohesion is excellent, club atmosphere is average, and managerial support is very good. But top influencers, 1 player opposes us, that's Yusuf Demir. He's obviously not happy about his position within the club. I've got 3 players that have no real opinion of us and 15 players supporters. And then finally looking at the finances, so we've got 439 million in the overall balance. We will be over 500 million easily by the start of the season. We've got 294 million in the overall transfer budget and a wage budget of 4.5 million. We're currently spending 3.7. So not bad going at all. And finally then, let's have a look at my milestones. So I took over the club in 2021. I was hired as a manager. I then went on to win the league and the Super Cup in my first season. The second season in, we won the league and the Super Cup again. But then in 2024, we really turned it on by winning the Super Cup, the Champions League, the La Liga and the Spanish Cup. In 2025, we then went on to win the Club Cup World Cup, the Serie A, the Spanish Cup and the Spanish Super Cup. And then in 2026, we won the Champions League, the La Liga and the Spanish Cup. We've bossed it there. And what about the overview then? So we spent 375 million on players and we sold players for 392, so we've just sold a little bit more. But like I say, the big thing is, I know they're in £1 billion debt. We've basically brought them £500 million back, as well as spending 375 million on the transfers. So I think that's a success for me. I think that's the only way I can put it. So yes, whoever we hand this over to now will have it in good hands, I'm sure. He's got plenty of contracts to sort out though, but that's their problem. Now, that's tomorrow's problem. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Like I said at the start of the video, if you have liked, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. It would mean a lot as we continue to grow this channel. But yeah, leave down in the comments who you'd like to see me rebuild next, and we'll add it to the list of teams for the FM22 cycle. So thanks for watching, stay safe, and I'll catch you later. Ta-ra.